All right, guys, BYD here. Look, this video is not for everyone. Could be illegal, could be against the law. Check with your HOA. I am not responsible for your family when you try this, all right? Or if you try this. But I'm gonna burn my lawn off, all right? And I'm gonna show you how much I'm gonna burn off. All right, I'm gonna burn this off in sections from all the way down to the back, all the way up to the front. A couple of things you gotta do, guys. You need a couple of 5 or 6 buckets, however many buckets you need, but you need to go ahead and fill them up. All right, we're gonna have to wet down all of this area. I'm gonna start my burn from back here, and for the ask that question, can you burn zoysia, we're about to find out, because that is a zoysia test strip I put back here. But we're gonna burn off, and we're gonna start from the back, and we're gonna burn to the front. A couple more things you need to do. I gotta get this blower. I'm gonna blow all this excess stuff back up into the woods. All right, I got a few fire extinguishers out here also. All right, so like I said, take the blower, we're gonna blow that back. All right, we got a bucket right here, a couple fire extinguishers up there, and like I said, you see how wet that grass is. This is what I call my water line. What I do is I'm putting a water barrier on my neighbor's yard to keep it from jumping over and burning their yard, so it should burn straight up. Now before you start, see if you can ignite that. If you can ignite that, you need to get it back wet. All right, but leave the rest of it dry. All right, I don't have to worry about the brick catching on fire, but I do have to worry about this blowing up. Now a lot of people will say, how do you test it? If you hadn't smelt any gas, you probably don't have a water leak. But this is my water barrier that I'm putting around it. Also, we want to get this nice and wet. Note that the ground is not going to get hot enough to heat up the gas lines and blow them up. Generally, that's why I like to do this in the fall, late fall or winter, because the ground is cold. All right, so it's not going to heat up because it's going to be a quick burn. Places you got wires and lights and stuff, put a water barrier around it. All right. If you have a sprinkler system in your heads, put a water barrier around your sprinkler heads. That'll keep the heads from melting from the heat. Maybe 3, 4, 5 feet, I don't know. But you'll have to come back and do that scalping and bagging yourself. All right, let me show you how I'm doing this water barrier. What I'm doing is this is on my neighbor's property. I gotta walk this down and wet it up. All right, you want to go anywhere from 4 to 5 feet, however many feet you want to go over. All right, you got to walk it down, and then I'm gonna walk back up the same thing. I want to make sure this is wet. Now for those of you who say you do this right after a rainstorm, the grass is not going to burn if it's wet. All right, maybe you do it after a couple of days after the rain, but you got some sun, you should be good to do it because the grass should be dry. All right, before I start, I want to show you I got 1, 2, we got 3 fire extinguishers. We got a couple of buckets, 5-gallon buckets of water, active water hose. We already did the water barrier, and we're going to start from down there and burn it back up this way. Once I get past that area right there, I'm not too much concerned with this. Junior or somebody to ride the side with the fire extinguisher. We make sure the hose is still working. That way, if it does jump the barrier, we can put it out. So what I want to do is test on this water barrier first. Hold on. Oh, that's a bad. Oh, I'll turn it down. So what I want to do is test on this water barrier first, right here. And you see how it's not burning? Even though I got the fire on it, that's a good thing right there. Now I'm gonna still go ahead and hit it with some water just to make sure. But the water barrier is set. Like I said, it's best to do this, but don't do this when it's real windy and leaves and stuff are blowing. And I prefer to do it when it's cold, a couple of days after rain, or you can water your lawn a day or two before to get the ground wet. All right, I'm gonna start over in this corner I want to try to burn it back that way right there. I got my water hose just in case my woods try to catch on fire. We did bring the water barrier like a foot or two over on the grass and water down that tree. Be careful around the pine tree, because if that pine tar catch on fire, it's over. All right, here we go, guys. Oh, we heard some thunder, but it was actually a motorcycle. And I got my water hose right here. I'm not gonna film every stitch of it. I'll film it in sections as we go. But you see where we're starting at. And juicy grass doesn't really burn that good. Juicy weeds don't burn that good. Keep that in mind. This grass I'm burning now, this is actually the Tifway 419. First time ever doing this, so I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we'll see. Excuse me, I said Tifway 419. This is Tahoma 31. All right, so it's burning pretty slow. All right, a little wind every now and then. I could stoke it with the blower, but I don't want to do that. I just want to burn at its natural pace. And you can see that water line on my water barrier held real good right here. Get to the thicker part, that's when you're gonna see these flames start to pick up. All right, as long as you got your water barrier set, guys, you will be okay. All right, just keep an eye on it. Note that, like I said, these juicy weeds, they don't burn when it's wet like that. They got to be dry. So I started at 225. It's 245. 20 minutes until the burn. Looks like an inferno. I can feel the heat from way back here. I think the temps are like 50 something degrees. All right, up against this house, I want to make sure that I keep it kind of wet, so none of this plastic can catch on fire or my screens. I'm gonna open this water barrier up just a little bit more so it won't get that close. You see that wind, fire tornado, I call it. Guys, make sure you get all these leaves up too, because those leaves can catch fire and float up in the sky. Now it's hot. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hot too. I can't even stand on it. But if I'm gonna have to run out there and put it out, I'm ready. So I started at 225, 3 o'clock. Burned roughly about 4,000 square feet. I'm not gonna burn this part off. I'm gonna actually bag this up so you guys can see the difference, because I burned that off yesterday. All right, but it burns real quick. Burns real quick. Let's get up close to it. So right here, guys, I just made sure I watered it down real good. Not concerned about that metal catching on fire, but this plastic right here. Wet that grass down. It shouldn't get in there too much. Started at 225, 304, just that last little bit. So I'm just gonna, well, I'll put it to you like this. For me to bag and scalp all that stuff right there, it would have took 4 to 6 hours. All right, so I'm right at an hour for us burning it off. Then I'm gonna take my little 21-inch commercial mower and mulch all this stuff in once it cools down, because I still got to keep it looking somewhat neat, because I don't want the neighbors like, oh, his yard black and all this and that. So that's what I do. You'll see that. Check it out. So the time stamps is 3:10 basically, and we're done. Next, we got to get the lawnmower and start mulching this stuff in. And that might take about 30-40 minutes, because it's gonna be dusty. But the good thing is I don't have to bag none of this stuff up. As far as these hot areas, I may just mulch that part down too, or get the weed eater and weed whack it down. I'm not decided yet, but my main thing is to get this mulched in and then put my pre-emergent down, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow.